Let's get this live going with my roll-ups. Damn, all these shits is gone. What's good, y'all? What's good? Kenny B, what's poppin'? What's good with you, man? We're going to be talking about G-Unit tonight. That's right. We're talking about G-Unit tonight. Let's get this stream kicked off right, you guys. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Let me get my co-hosts up in here, see what's going on with the guys. Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. It's Mikey T, the movie star, back with another exclusive. Man, this G-Unit controversy just keeps, you know what I mean? It just keeps getting worse and worse for young Buck. I mean, everybody knows Buck literally just finished doing an interview with DJ Vlad, and now Vlad and 50 is commenting, and Vlad's posting stories about new rumors about young Buck. It's crazy, you guys. I appreciate everybody tapping in tonight. My man Fly Prolific is on time tonight. My dude is on time. Let's go share this video, everyone. Let's get some people in here and let's get the conversation going. Let's get the conversation rolling tonight. You know, there's a lot of crazy rumors going around about young Buck for the last few years, ever since 50 really tried to, you know, cast him out of G-Unit. You know, first we go from young Buck crying all over the internet. We start with young Buck crying, right, you guys? And now we've moved on to full-on accusations of young Buck being involved with men. Now they're not even saying it's trans anymore, you guys. Now we're just saying that it was an actual man that young Buck was involved in. Adrian Bardell says, "What is the deal now?" Dice Runs Jers, what's poppin', man? Everybody share this video. Let's get going. Let's start talking about this tonight. We're going to talk about this topic heavy because young Buck is getting put on blast. Jamel says that Buck's music is official, 100%. You're actually looking at someone who has purchased the Straight Outta Cashville album. You know what I mean? I've actually purchased the Cashville album. I've actually purchased the Buck the World album. You know what I mean? I've actually grabbed these albums and been a fan and a supporter of Buck. So to see all these rumors and these accusations flying, it's just like, it makes me totally question the character of young Buck at this point. You know what I mean? Let's bring it up because it's all over at this point. It's all over the internet at this point, you know? I first saw it on Boxton. What's going on, you guys? Buck Jenner. You're hilarious, Buck Jenner. Hit the likes. Starlito already put that on blast, but that's why they fought. Yep, Starlito and Buck actually got into a fight. Well, Buck kind of strong-armed Starlito. Yeah, Buck kind of strong-armed Starlito, that whole situation. Max Dollars, what's popping, bro? Appreciate you for tapping in. So 50 Cent is trolling young Buck again, you guys. 50 is back to trolling Buck. And, you know, in this interview, Buck actually revealed that when he signed back to G-Unit, he signed for a G-Unit album, and he also signed for a young Buck solo album. So 50 basically got him up in two things right there. But obviously, you know, Buck has a history of moving some units. So, you know what I mean? Buck has a history of moving units. So obviously 50 was going to want to do that type of deal with him. Australia was popping. Stanley says that Buck needs to be honest and own it. You know, I think we could have believed it. I think we could have believed what he was saying on Vlad's couch, or Vlad, you know what I mean, on the Vlad interview. We could have believed it. He said he was getting catfished. He actually went on to Vlad's channel and said that he was catfished. But then Bosco actually did another interview pretty much discrediting everything that young Buck had said, you guys. Right, Jody. Jody says he was pretty honest. But yeah, but Bosco came on there and pretty much discredited everything that he said. Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. This is Mikey T, the movie star, hitting you guys with some news. Got a new update on Young Buck. You know what I mean? It's crazy that we have another update on Young Buck right now. Share this video, everyone. We got another update on Young Buck just following his 35-part, 37-part Vlad TV interview. And now the next day, we got an article popping. 50 Cent trolls Young Buck for being caught with another transgender. That's the headline on Vlad right now. 50 actually commented. He said, "Damn, this boy really caught this boy really different. Caught with another transgender contender." Yeah, I saw the crop together picture that they had of Buck. Mikey T, stay with the real shit. Shout out to you, man, for tuning in. Share this video, everyone that's in here right now. Young Buck always start with 50 and then regret it when 50 responds. Yeah, a lot of people start with 50 and then they get upset when 50 responds because 50 has like 20 million followers or whatever. So when 50 responds, he's really putting your shit on blast. You know what I mean? Like when 50 says something like, "Oh, you've got a $50 parrot." You know what I mean? That makes 20 million people or 5 million people think that dude has a $60 parrot. You know what I'm saying? So anything that 50 says, it's like taken by truth. That's how Buck and Banks and Yayo used to feel for sure back in the early G Unit days. You know what I mean? Yep. Buck caught again. Snowman said, "I believe Buck really do get down like that." It's a weird thing to think that he would actually be into that, man. You know what I mean? A guy who actually is in the music industry, a guy who has had all types of money, actually being into that. Kind of weird if you ask me. You know what I mean? Yeah, it ain't just Young Buck. Apparently, this is a thing that people are actually into. I mean, y'all remember what happened with Mr. C back in the day. You know what I mean? Mr. C got called out like 2 or 3 different times. And now look at Buck. Now Buck is facing 2 or 3 different accusations. We all saw the first accusation, and Smurf actually spoke with me on that. Bangum Smurf actually spoke with me on that when Buck had these Maybach keys that were actually in the transgender's hands or on the bed. And Smurf was like, "I did my research and I found out that that really was Buck there involved in that whole situation." Now, Buck didn't claim that it wasn't him. How could you when you got his voice there, when you got you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And you got his voice there and you got him walking out of the video. And then you got more video, more audio of Buck telling the transgender to actually take the video down and that he will pay. He will pay to have the video taken down. I could see how people would, you know what I mean, look at this situation and be like, well, of course he wanted the video down. But come on, you're really going to continue conversation with this mistake, even if you got catfished? You know what I mean? If you've been catfished in your time, you know you pretty much leave and you never contact that person again. You know what I mean? Flat Prolific said, Mike Tyson said the realish ish in his Vlad interview. He said, a lot of our friends, okay, y'all can read the rest of that. A lot of people are agreeing with you, Prolific. Well, Buck didn't come out like, say, Frank Ocean. You know what I mean? Buck didn't come out like Frank Ocean. Buck is obviously hiding it. You know what I mean? I really find it hard to believe that Buck is actually, you know, like that type of a lifestyle. You know what I mean? A guy who could get the baddest bitches. Mikey, you should get up with Cook Up Boss about all this. Cook Up Boss, never heard of Cook Up Boss. You could fill me in on that, who Cook Up Boss is, though? Zach Boy, appreciate you for tuning in tonight. I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. We're going over this new article basically just the day after Vlad finished his interview with Young Buck. now news has started hitting everywhere because we all got a really good light of Young Buck through the Vlad interview. You know what I mean? From his beginning in getting into the industry to his relationships with guys like 3-6 Mafia to teams like Cash Money to then building with Juvenile and moving on to G Unit. But now, just days after we get all this positive word about Buck, it's all over the media. 50 Cent's trolling him. 50 Cent trolls Young Buck for being caught with another transgender. Can you believe this, you guys? Let's get into the article a little bit. Damn. Max Dallas says Assville instead of Cashville. So 50 said, damn, this boy really different. Caught with another transgender contender? Wow, 50 just can't believe it. 50 can't believe it, so he's got to poke fun. One of the people in the comments said that Buck hates it every time 50 responds to one of his disses. You know what I mean? Because Buck doesn't have the same platform as 50. So when 50 says something, it reaches like what, you guys? 10 times the amount of people? Polo Ralph says, hey, Mikey, Philly F's, would you keep up the raw realness, real shit, salute. You guys know Dark Low actually just reached out to me the other day. Dark Low reached back out to me and let me know that he was in good spirits. You know what I mean? He shows me that he's in good spirits. And he also wanted to see my interview that I did with Cassidy, where Cassidy was speaking on him. So major shout out to Dark Low. I'm glad to see that you're watching the content, man, staying in tune with what we're doing, because we support you on this channel 100%. Dan says 50 just didn't get caught yet. You're hilarious. Veta, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? Appreciate you for tuning in. So this was on Vlad. It said, but before we get into this, guys, I want to welcome in my co-host. I want to welcome in the co-host for the night. Hopefully his volume is working. Let me bring in my brother, Majestic.
My volume, can you hear me good?
What is poppin', man? We are talking about Young Buck. So, I'm not sure if you caught it, but Buck just had an interview with Vlad. It went like 35, 36 parts.
Uh-huh. And what happened?
So, Buck was pretty much in a good light with the general public. You know what I mean? Buck actually addressed all the transgender rumors where he said he basically got catfished, Majestic.
Right.
So he said he got catfished, but a rumor pops up today, or a headline pops up today. 50 Cent trolls Young Buck for being caught with another transgender. And 50 quoted in saying, damn, this boy is really different. Caught with another transgender contender? What do you think about that, man? What do you think about that?
If you find yourself getting in trouble with more than one, it got to be some truth to it. I'm sorry. It got to be some type of truth to it, because ain't no transgender finna just come out the blue and be like, "Hey, Mikey T, I messed with him." Nah, man, nah. And 50, you cannot give him no leverage on something like that. He gonna troll you forever. So Buck know he messed up, man. I think it's true.
So was that a good way for him to get out of the first accusations, though, to say that he was catfished?
Man, I guess. Yeah. That's all you can come up with? You was catfish? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because Bangum Smurf actually spoke with me about this, and Smurf said he did some investigation on his own. He said he actually went back into Young Buck's Instagram, right? He had went into Young Buck's old Instagram, like probably dozens, 20, 30, 40 pictures back, and he saw the same Maybach keys. He saw the same Maybach keys Buck had that were on the transgender woman's bed.
Hey, so goes to what I was saying. I mean, I think it's true.
So let me get into the article here a little bit, Majestic.
All right.
So this was on Vlad TV. They say Young Buck's transgender scandal was revisited during his Vlad TV interview, where he denied any sexual encounter with a transgender. where he denied any sexual encounter with a transgender woman and claimed he was catfished. YouTuber Tasha K responded to the rapper's story during her show, Unwind with Tasha K, by revealing the alleged identity and messages of another transgender woman who says she was involved with the Nashville rapper. These are actual messages. If you care, between Buck and an alleged accuser at Crack Badass, with him asking, "Where you at?" And he about to tear that ass up. "I'm about to come and put this D in your A," the host said, is what was actually in the text messages or DMs.
Oh, yo. Hey, whew. Some explaining ain't gonna help that.
I'm just saying, sometimes Buck, sometimes a guy just wants to hit the door number 2.
No, that guy.
Or I should say sometimes that's what a girl's into.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Buck got some explaining to do. You hear me? He gonna be explaining for the rest of his life.
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa, you hear me?
Fly Prolific says, "Whoa, Chris H. Say it ain't so." That's what I was initially saying about this Majestic. Let me get your take. Like, I couldn't believe this hearing it about Young Buck. I mean, like, this is a guy who's got all types of money. This is a guy who could have any woman he wanted. Like, why would he do something like this? What the hell's going on? Is it just what he's into?
I think that's what it is. He into that. You know, it's a lot of cats that street that's into that, man. You know, it's a lot of cats that go behind these walls, prison, jail, and come out portraying one image and was a whole nother image inside. You know, so you got to be careful. Like nowadays, you never know what to expect from a person. You never know. So I'm not surprised by it. I'm not. I mean, you got basketball players that's going through the same thing he going through. Robert
So
Case.
Some people saying Buck might as well admit it.
Yeah, he might as well admit it.
Somebody said Buck simply got caught and didn't want to pay. I don't relate to that.
Yeah, he into that. He into all of that.
What, he couldn't afford to give the girl $40?
No, I wasn't talking about that. I'm looking at the comments. He's thoroughly into he she's.
That's just weird, man. That's just weird.
That's crazy.
Nick says when you're dealing with a woman, check
Neck.
check the neck.
How they be walking around now? They be having those things across their neck.
Yep, free YFN Lucci. We were talking about YFN Lucci last night. I think it's only a matter of time before he gets a bond, Majestic, personally.
So I think so too.
You can't have no Adam's apple. Yay Stacks said, "I got catfished." Majestic, can you share a time with the people? Let's keep it real, Majestic. Let's keep it real. Can you share time with the people when you had been catfished?
Well, a couple. Let's see.
Majestic has been catfished a couple times, apparently, in the same aspect that Young Buck was.
Hell no. What the man? Hell no. I ain't play. I've been punched that. Man, look here.
Okay,
Nah.
so you heard that.
I remember years ago, coming up, it was a popular thing. I'm pretty sure everybody know, like it was called the chat line. And everybody used to be calling it chat line and stuff like that. And bro, you never know what to expect. You never know. Somebody could sound so skinny on the phone and pull up looking like Baloo. I'm talking about golly, she looked like she was stuffed in this car. A neon too. I said, good Lord. As I was walking to the vehicle, I completely crossed the street and act like I didn't even know what was going on. You got to be careful, man. And then I blocked the number.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, man. So reading this, so this whole situation, a blogger named Tasha K actually put up another woman who said that she's had relations with Buck. So during the episode, K directed viewers to dedicated an Instagram account dedicated to Buck's transgender scandal. She also questioned young Buck's story while pointing out the consistency in his accuser's story. So it looks right here. We're going to get down to some of the story, Majestic. But
Right,
but she says, but I knew Buck was full of shit when he called me and said, I didn't even know it was a man, Tasha said.
right.
So you walked into your room high, pulled down your pants, and just let anybody suck your D without checking to see who it was. And then to address that, I mean, when you walk in and you hook up with a girl, you know what I mean? When you walk in and you hook up with a girl, obviously I don't think the first thing you're going to do is put your hands down her pants, but you should be able to tell. You should be able to tell by the general look of her face if you want to hook up with her or not. The general look, you know what I mean? Her body, face, anything in regard to that. You know what I mean? You should at least know.
That's funny as hell.
So she says, so you walked into the room high, pulled down your pants, and let anybody suck your D without checking to see who it was. And then when she got the camera, he talked about, I looked back, saw the camera, and got the F up out of here. You said you didn't even know if it was a camera there. You didn't even know that. Listen, too many trans women have came out to out his ass at this point. This man is bisexual. I've been talking to Crack Badass for years, and her story has not changed at all.
Boy.
Well,
That
I mean,
man's in the hot seat.
what do you make of this, Majestic? I mean, her story hasn't changed, but I mean,
Walk in
people
the
go through
room and just do that, and you claim. So is he claiming he was high?
Buck is always high, Majestic.
And look here, he been getting high long enough. I'm telling you, I don't think he was that high. I don't think he was that high. He knew exactly what he wanted. He knew what was going on. He just trying to cover it up. The world knows, bro. It's time for you to come out.
He shouldn't have needed to go get that kind of ass, Majestic. He could have got any type of ass he wanted.
You know, he wanted that ass. That's what he wanted.
Jody says, all this stuff aside, Buck is one of the best lyricists.
Look, man, when I say that boy, yeah, that boy was nice on the mic.
Okay, he's nice on the mic, but does it go any further than that now? I mean, there's like
No, he's nice with another mic now, so that's on him.
like
Two different mics we talking about, bro. Two different mics.
like one of the reasons that I get in tune with rap music, Majestic, is because of the character and the story of an artist. You know what I mean? You got to find integrity in an artist that you mess with. You got to really have, you know what I mean? You got to really mess with somebody's character.
Right.
And Buck is on the internet lying. You know what I mean? What did Little Nas X do? Little Nas X didn't make everybody wonder about what he was doing for 3, 4, 5, 10 years.
Right.
So
Yep.
respect to Little Nas X for coming out of the closet, I guess.
Yeah, be you. I mean, be you. If that's what you do, that's what you do. But the thing is, it only gets worse when you try to hide it and get caught.
Elite Society say, why does everyone always have to believe 50? He's known for trolling. And that's what I was saying earlier.
If the transgender already said it, it don't got nothing to do with 50. 50 just trolling it. That's some news that he should have never got his hands on. You knew what he was gonna do. You knew it. That's 50, you know? Buck in trouble.
Yeah. And Buck actually spoke on having the conversation with 50 back in the day where he ended up crying. Do you remember that conversation?
That boy was boo-hooing.
Buck said that he looked at that conversation as one of the best talks he ever had with 50 Cent.
A crying conversation. Hmm.
He's like, he was really explaining it on Vlad TV. He's like, that's really, it felt like me and 50 really got an understanding of our friendship at that point.
No, he didn't. He clowned you right after it. You should already know what type of dude 50 is.
Yeah, but Buck says he won't go back to G Unit at this point.
He can't. They won't let him in.
Nope. No.
Hey, Jody Lowe said he called 50 daddy. Oh, nah, man. Say it ain't so.
Okay, well, Buck brought up a situation where 50 had a girl in a hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
So 50 called Buck like, Buck, you got to come up to my room now. I got a surprise for you, right? So 50 brought Buck up to the room, and he was like, yo, I got this shorty right here for you. Smash on that. And Buck says that 50 pretty much watched it happen.
Oh.
He's like, well, what does that say about 50?
I remember, they made, some tapes of, I think Rick Ross, wasn't Rick Ross the mother of Rick Ross' child?
Whoa. Ain't no talking about that, Majestic.
Okay. All right.
All right.
We'll leave that alone, but okay.
$7 million case that 50 Cent lost.
Yeah, we'll leave that alone.
We can leave that one alone.
I was trying to find a way to, we'll leave that alone. But yeah.
Washed up rapper. Is Buck really a washed up rapper at this point?
Some of his latest
album.
His
last album was 2007.
He still got lyrics. I like his flow still, but I mean, that's a horrible way to go out.
It's a horrible way to go out, man.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Miss Chocolate, I can't talk about that no more. So, I
don't see Miss Chocolate's comment.
Yeah.
Oh God, Miss Chocolate.
Yeah, we're gonna just let that be.
2007 is when the Saints won. Buck gotta chill with the transactions.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got that.
Mm-hmm.
I just got that.
Yeah.
So 50 Cent, who trolled Young Buck over the rumors numerous times, tweeted a screenshot of the episode and wrote, damn, this boy really different. Caught with another transgender contender. Young Buck has not responded to 50's latest comments, nor the YouTube episode accusing him of being involved with another. Do you think he's going to leave it alone, Majestic? Do you think he's going to let Vlad's interview do the talking for him, even though it does not address anything like this?
Do I think he's going to leave it alone? Nah.
You think he'll be on the internet addressing it tomorrow?
You know he is. He always got it. Come on, man. He had the world assuming that he was this type of dude. And now the world finding out that you this type of person. He's going to always explain himself. He going to always, oh, you got catfish. So now you semi admitting to it. Nah, man. It happened. It happened.
Wow. So Hot New Hip Hop actually has an article up about this. 50 Cent continues transphobic attack of Young Buck.
I told you.
Caught with another. 50 Cent tweets more transphobic shade at Young Buck. If you tuned in for Young Buck's multi-part video interview series with Vlad TV, you're already well aware that 50 Cent is no longer friendly with the rapper. This is an article on Hot New Hip Hop for everyone just tuning in. If you tuned in for the Young Buck multi-part video interview series with Vlad TV, you are already well aware that 50 Cent is no longer friendly with the rapper. They're long past that point, and there's seemingly no chance for a G-Unit reunion in the future. After everything that 50 has had to say about Buck on social media, it makes sense that the Tennessee native would want to be in the same. It makes sense that the Tennessee native wouldn't want to be in the same room as his current nemesis. Yeah, I don't ever see them getting back together again.
Right.
I mean, the last time it was
It won't
obvious.
happen. Every chance 50 get, he gonna troll him. Every chance. Every chance.
Do you think 50 kind of regrets not being able to rebuild the relationship with Buck? I mean, when he brought Buck back in Majestic, he signed him not only for a G Unit album, but he signed him for another Young Buck solo album.
Nah. 50 money is good. He don't care. He really don't care. I mean, it would be nice. I mean, of course, it would be good for the culture, but at the end of the day, like now, he could imagine that's happening and he's on the label. 50 would do the same thing. Mike, why would you put that?
No, I'm trying to delete it, man. Sometimes it
Uh,
gets messed up, man. Like somebody just called us gay boys. I was trying to delete that, but
oh man, okay. You know you got them cats that come on and salute to the real ones in here, man.
button. Someone said, I wonder what 50's secrets are. Well, Vivica Fox has exposed some of 50's secrets.
It's a few people that have. A few people.
So, in the past, 50 Cent has unleashed numerous transphobic rants on Young Buck, his former bandmate, dragging a
Right.
scandal in which Buck was caught on a video with a transgender woman. Buck maintains that nothing happened with the woman, insisting that he has no issues whatsoever with the LGBTQ the community, with the lesbian and gay community.
Right,
50
right.
clearly. So 50 shared this pic. Basically, Buck was getting exposed. They had a bald picture of Buck, which makes me think kind of like, damn, maybe I was wrong in my statement that Buck could get with any woman he wanted to.
Why? Because he bald headed.
Yeah, because he's bald, like how is he gonna end up with, you know what I mean? Like a famous model chick and he's just bald, you know what I mean?
So that's how you view bald people.
No, that's all I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, how is he actually gonna end up with like name whatever celebrity like that? Someone said, nah, because he's trash. No, Buck is not. There's no way Buck is trash. I bought both of Young Buck's first two albums. I bet
Right.
Majestic.
Oh, he went hard. He went hard.
Did you buy those albums, Majestic?
Of course. Anything that G Unit was dropping back then, you had to have. They ran everything, for a point in time. That's all you heard was G Unit.
Someone said, don't take his attraction for his skills and personality.
Yeah, I mean, but when you lying about it, you deserve to get trolled. It don't matter how much talent you got. If you lying about that, you gonna get exposed.
What about this, Majestic? A wannabe DMX.
Hmm. Uh, I thought that about that. Never mind. But no, no.
Yo, what's poppin', H Money?
H Money.
All right, so let me ask you this then. Was Banks better than Buck? What does everyone think in the chat? Can we get a vote in the chat? What is it? Is it Banks or Buck? What do you
Yeah,
guys like, Banks or Buck? I'm just going to set it off by saying I personally did like Buck more than Banks, Majestic.
I
I
did.
like I liked both of Buck's albums more than I liked both of Banks's first two albums.
Yeah, I agree. Buck
Okay.
went a lot harder.
Okay,
Yeah.
look here. We got blank. We got boom. We got Mad Banks. One Banks, hands down. Banks, Banks, Banks. Lloyd Banks, Banks, hard. Buck, Buck. Big Junior says, I'm starting to think all the times that Buck went to jail was on purpose.
Man, but with these votes also, let's not forget what Funk Master Flex said. Banks was one of the most people that was wanted up there on the Flex show. He said, "Yeah, yo."
We got a couple for Yayo. Tone says, what kind of question is that? Banks will light up anyone in New York. Yeah, it's overwhelming that Banks had more fans than Buck. I mean, he sold more records on their first run. Like I told you before, Banks sold 440,000 units, whereas Buck sold 260,000 units.
Yeah, and look, Fly prolific. I totally understand where you're coming from, and that's how I'm looking at it.
Young Bucks only got one single. Is that accurate, Majestic?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, tell me the other one.
I don't think so. When he first came out, it was "Let Me In," "Shorty Wanna Ride."
Right.
Man,
I'm Stunt 101, popping them things.
yeah.
I want to get to know you.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Stomp. One person says stomp.
see, that's what I'm thinking. Let Me In. Well, if we talking about him, Let Me In,
Money in the bank. Money
"Shorty
in
Wanna Ride." Um, yeah, "Money in the Bank." Oh man, he got some hits.
Yeah, not even counting the G Unit hits like I want to get to know you, popping them things, stunt 101.
That's my cut that I want to get to know you.
Well, I know, but I'm still mentioning them because he's obviously should be getting royalty checks from them records.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Let Me In versus I'm So Fly. Obviously, I'm So Fly.
Uh-huh.
I'm so fly.
Yeah, he had something too. So Fly, um, On
But
Fire,
his real big one was Karma, though, I'd have to say.
Karma. Yeah. But what's that with Avant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was Avant, though?
Singer.
Banks featuring Buck, Work
Hey,
Magic.
that was my shit.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Um, Work Magic. What was that on Banks's album?
I think so. Look at here. Nobody around here scared. I'm headed for the top and I'm almost there. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This shit right here, a work magic of making, yeah. But you
Yeah.
can't lie. Buck, man, look here. You know how I get down this pound whole 6 rounds. I told you I'll be back, bitch. Talk that shit now. You hear that 450? Man, you but Banks, he went hard. He went hard as hell. But that like Prolific said, it just depends on what you like. If you like that gutter stuff, of course you're
Well, I
gonna go
was gonna compare Work Magic. I was gonna compare Work Magic to the Young Buck and Jeezy record.
to the Young Buck and Jeezy record.
Yeah, Young Buck and Young Jeezy. No, not Real Kings. I'm talking about the Young Buck and the Jeezy record. Which album was it on? I'm not talking about Four Kings with T.I. Pimp C and Young Jeezy either.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
See,
But
I
yeah,
never see that you got a lot of people talking about that. Banks.
Buck on World Star. Yeah, Buck was smart. Buck did his interview with Vlad and he had a video ready to go on World Star, but it just so happens that his name is being thrown in the mud once again. Right now, Young Buck's name is being thrown in the dirt by another woman with accusations and more bloggers coming out and just really ruining his presence in hip hop, man. Okay, so Louis Peasy is saying that if Buck Banks and Yayo made a mixtape right now without 50, it would do numbers. Do you agree with that?
If Buck, Banks, and Yayo made a mixtape right now without 50, it would do numbers. If See, times is different now. Times is a lot different now. That the production that they had back then on the G Unit album and stuff like that, that was classic. You can't beat that. So if you don't have that same type of, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Not now. Because everybody trying to follow the trends of these beat styles, these beat makers and stuff. Prime example. When Lil Boozy got out of jail, everybody was looking forward to Lil Boozy making the old Boozy. What's his name? Mel and Turk and stuff like that. But see, they wasn't together no more. So Boozy had to keep up with the Joneses. and he was making, songs that people really didn't like, to be honest, and it's about keeping up with the Jones. So to answer that question, I really don't think it's sad. I don't.
I agree, man. Honestly, they tried it all together. They tried it all together last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually read somewhere that G Unit's reunion only it only netted like $500,000. Like the G Unit reunion only netted $500,000. So to go from the comparison of, like the rumor of each member of G Unit making $10 million, which is what, $30 million, to not even grossing $500,000, it shows the demand wasn't there for a G Unit reunion. Did they? Is it because Game didn't come back with them, or did they just do it too soon, Majestic?
Well, times have changed. Times have changed, and it's like, I guess once you let stuff, so long, it's like I don't think nobody really was interested.
Yep.
I think that's really what it was. It was just like, they waited so long, the interest was gone. Banks still worth 10 mil. Banks was playing.
What'd you think about them adding Kid into the equation?
Uh, for me personally, I mean, that was cool, but the original group itself, that was sick. If they would have stayed together, man, they would have been running things.
Yep.
Ryan,
Ryan, we're saying that.
Dipset or G Unit. Ooh.
I know I'm going G Unit all day on that one.
I'm gonna go G Unit. I'm gonna go G Unit too.
G Unit all day on that one, man. I feel like they had the better solo artist. I feel like 50 probably signed better artists than I like the artist that 50 signed better than Cam as well. Like if you look at guys like Hellrell and J.R. Ryder compared to Mobb Deep and MOP, 50 was just signed. Or I guess you would have to compare them to somebody else. But I thought 50 had a lot of good signings. What did you think? Why did you think G Unit was better than Dipset?
I think G Unit was better than Dipset because of the content that they was putting out. Dipset was sick. Like Dipset was street music all day. But if you really wanted that gangster stuff, yeah, back then, 50 them, they couldn't miss. With a record, they could not miss. They could not miss. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. Instigating that. Oh shit. My boy Max Dallas tagged me on the gram or some shit like that.
Shout out Max Dollars, man.
Yeah, shout out Max Dollars, dope producer. Okay, so we got some people saying G Unit over Dipset. G Unit over Dipset.
Brown, what's up, homie? What's up, bro?
Nobody from Dipset can go bar for bar with Banks alone. Would you agree with that?
Yo, it sounded like he was a robot when he was just talking.
Sometimes you gotta. Dipset reunion was way better. I feel like the reunions should have went further. To be honest with you guys, I felt like the reunion should have went a little bit further. I don't feel like we really got what we wanted out of the Dipset reunion, but that's also because Joel Santana actually got locked up right before the reunion was actually supposed to get going. Yeah, I'm just going to roll one up right now, you guys. Fly Prolific disagrees with you. He says Banks will destroy Banks will get destroyed by Joel's bar for bar. Yeah, appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. We're talking about Buck, Young Buck, 50 Cent. 50 Cent poking fun at Young Buck once again. One of his most prized artists, you guys. You know what I mean? This is one of his most prized artists. Okay, I'm going to have to agree that actually I think Banks is better than Joel Santana. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that 100%. Ryan Jeffries asked, did you think the game destroyed G Unit? Yeah, I do think so. I think the game, as well as me, you know what I mean? Me teaming up with Bangum Smurf, you know what I mean? Me and Bangum Smurf linking up with Rick Ross, we pretty much cleaned up G Unit after game, pretty much like game like came and like assaulted their team, like you know what I mean? So they were all like broken, and then me and Smurf came and we sweep them up with Ross. Okay, I will agree with that. I'll agree with that 100%. Banks over Jewels, but not Banks over Cam. And yes, Jones, Dipset is better than GU Not. Screw GU Not. GU Not sucks. Okay, yep. G Unit's hype man was better. Yayo over Freaky Zeke. I'll agree with you. Even though Freaky Zeke was the one who gave me an interview and Yayo didn't give me an interview, I'll agree with you there. I will agree with you there. Okay. Freaky out an album called The Book of Ezekiel. Freaky out an album. It sold like 4,000 first week. Yep. Yep. I think we got my guy Majestic right here. Majestic, you back on? Why does he got to be looking like that? Hot Rod. Hot Rod's a different type of artist. Rick Ross about to surpass 50. I don't know. I don't think Ross could ever move the same amount of units that 50 ever did. What if Max B joined G Unit? Yeah. Okay, sounds like Majestic is back with us. Nope, Majestic's.
I'm here.
Yeah, we can hear you. No, he's messed up right now, guys. Sorry about that. My co-host Majestic is a little messed up right now. Big Avel, Max Big Avel. Yeah, big facts. Max B on G Unit though. That's what one of you guys asked me. Max B on G Unit. What do I think about Max B if he would have signed the G Unit? If the rumor was that 50 Cent was going to put up $4 million for Max B at one point. That was the rumor. Yo, D-Rock, no, that's not true. Do I dude, you got to have me explain this every time? I got out of my vehicle and went and faced Tony Sunshine like a man. I walked through a couple dozen people. He had like 18 people with him, and I walked past them all and I faced him. This guy wants to judge things by a 1-minute video clip he saw online because that's all the data his phone can hold to let him watch a video. Max B was a hit maker. Facts. Max B was a dope music maker, you guys. You know, Max said when he gets out of jail that we're actually gonna have a whole night out on the town. You know what I mean? He said we're gonna have a whole night on the town and do a real interview, a real exclusive interview, you guys. Wow, you see you little idiot. You see you little idiot, D-Rock. No one even knows what the hell you're talking about. You're so irrelevant, D-Rock. Man, it must feel bad to be you. A Mafia over Tony Yayo. Somebody's just trying to bring up my past beef that I've totally overcame. You know what I mean? A beef that I totally overcame, and I left dude in the dust. Started interviewing people like Rick Ross and Lil Wayne. You know what I mean? Because dudes tried to come and strong arm me and shit back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to, they want to break their promises and shit like that. But we're not explaining that today. We're supposed to be on here talking about Young Buck, Buck Jenner, 50 Cent. We got a good conversation going in here. Ryan Jeffries, yeah. Yep. True Life and Dipset. That was serious. That was serious. You know, but True Life is out of jail now. True Life is on a whole nother vibe now. I actually did an interview with True a few years back. You know, he had actually come out and he had the same manager as French Montana. He had the same manager as French Montana, Gabi. So he was really in good spirits, man. Really respect all the respect that True Life gave to me. You know what I mean? He actually took time and shit with what I was doing. Veta Loop, yep. Next chapter. We on to the next chapter, you guys. I'm rolling one up. Buck Nasty. How you living, man?
I can't.
Why you think Irv Gotti didn't put out his other artist? Kendall Parks asked. You know, that's a question that's been asked for a long time in hip hop, man. I'm surprised I haven't answered that one before on the live, because it's something that I've actually talked about. It's something that I actually talk about for a while. I've spoke about this a lot in my past. Why Irv Gotti didn't put out people like Black Child, people like Cadillac Ta, people like, you know, other people like he had other artists that were, you know, killed. He had other artists like Vita, Charlie Baltimore. He had female artists. You know, Irv Gotti did a lot in the music business, but it really only focused around a few artists. Ja Rule, Ashanti. Eventually, he went on to release Lloyd, another R&B singer. But the big question is, why did Irv Gotti not put more effect in releasing some of his more street hip hop artists? Cadillac Todd did an interview about that actually with Emrek, where he touched on it very specifically, speaking on the fact that they were going to put out his album, but they said, listen, we'll give you this lump sum of money if we can just shelve the album. You can work on something new. We can see if we can get a new album cooking. So they basically paid him not to put out the album. Black Child's situation, I know he was working on an album for a while called A Soldier's Story. Black Child wasn't a great rapper, but his story is the most definitely relatable. Yeah, that's one of the things about Black Child. I actually like Black Child more than Cadillac Ta. Was I wrong about that, you guys? Who do you guys say in the chat? Black Child or Caddy Ta? Janetti, what's popping, man? Appreciate you for tuning in. Hold on, where is it? Guys, I want to know Black Child or Cadillac Ta in the chat. I'm saying Black Child personally. But maybe that's just because he was such a gangster, you know, that I related to him. Neither. Black Child. One for Cadillac Ta. Two. Yep. Appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. Black Child better. Black Child. That's funny. We got a chat going on tonight. Black Child or Cadillac Ta. Man, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. You know, I just want to jump on here and do a quick live. Want to come on here and speak to y'all about what was going on. Caddy's Raw, Black Child, you know, but obviously, you know, when we do these lives, there's a lot more questions asked. And I love it, man, getting to go over some of this type of shit. Who's the best from the Rockefeller Prime? Best from the Rockefeller Prime. Good question. Probably have to say Kanye West. Probably have to say Kanye West had the best career out of Rockefeller, to be honest with you guys. Black Child was spitting on that first Mid-Rank album. Yo, Peasy, I'm not going to lie. Fabdon was pissed. Fabdon was pissed when everybody gave the win to Cash King over him. Like, they gave the win to Cash King, and just Fab Down was like, what the hell kind of shit is that? That's whack. Yeah, beans for sure. What up? What up, FaZe? What up, FaZe? What's popping tonight? Let me see. Gotta hit my brother real quick. Young Buck. Who's that hitting me up? Slum 1200. About to roll me something up, you guys. Memphis Bleak, you're hilarious. 50's just you're hilarious. Around here. Yeah, Bleak had a record with my homie Boxy too. That, you know, that record for the chicks. Yep. Yes, rolling up this gas, you guys. You don't know who Boxy is? Boxy was an R&B singer that was actually working with Ja Rule and Murder Inc. at a point. Where is my light? Coming of age. Word. Nah, I doubt he was in New York. Freeway, what we do, man. Thanks for everybody for tuning in tonight. I'm getting out of here a little bit early tonight. Guys, I just wanted to come on here and really address the whole thing with 50 Cent and Buck. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. Major salute.